University City, celebrating 100 years.
My favorite thing about University City is the diversity.
My favorite thing about University City are our residents.
This is a city that brings in the best of all cultures.
It's the diversity of all of us working together. I think I love that more than anything.
Wonderful neighbors, just you never know who you're going to meet or what they do.
It is a wonderful sense of community.
When there's a need for something, we all come together.
We've got lots of different people, lots of different communities within the community.
I love the art and all the trees and all the flowers.
Oh, I love the parks.
We have beautiful homes throughout the city, and I think that makes our city special.
My favorite part is the Loop. It really is the vibrant heart of this community.
I love Del Mar. I love the life on Del Mar.
To see what's going on in that Loop is phenomenal.
I'm awfully fond of the Loop area, and particularly the City Hall building is fantastic.
Some of the architecture that we have and some of the homes that were built here are just absolutely amazing.
This is not a stereotype cookie-cutter city.
My favorite thing about U City that it is the perfect place for arts, culture, and education.
The mix of nonprofit groups that add so much quality, cultural groups and all that are, you just can't find this intense cluster of them anyplace else in the Midwest, I don't think.
I'm just very proud of this community. It's, for as small as it is, it's very significant in the impact it's had, I think, on the lives of people here. It's just a neat place to live.
And because it is such a neat place to live, University City residents came together and threw a year-long celebration worthy of its praises.
Well, it's our centennial, and we thought, okay, 100 fun things to do in U City, piece of cake. There's 100 fun things to do any day. So we spread them out over the whole year. We asked the community to share what they were doing. We made it a part of the centennial, and all year long, something's been going on.
Scheduled events focused on every aspect of University City. Dances celebrated the city's cultural diversity. Concerts highlighted the city's appreciation of the arts. Festivals provided residents an opportunity to celebrate as a community. Neighborhood tours revealed why the city is so important to the region.
Not every community would have done that.
University City's founding father was featured in a film about the city's birth.
And the area was changed forever.
And a centennial gala shined a spotlight on the city's past and helped plant seeds for its future.
With your help, we will complete it.
University City, celebrating the community, celebrating the arts, celebrating the history, celebrating 100 years. 2006 began with a ribbon cutting as Centennial Commons opened its doors.
We welcome you here today for the grand opening of Centennial Commons and the kickoff of our Centennial celebration. University City has become a model for other cities. It is a wonderful community that Mr. Lewis would be proud of.
The first day it opened was the beginning of the Centennial celebration. We could hardly keep up with them, but what a way to open up a facility.
I want to thank each and every one of you because you made it possible.
The new state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot activity center houses a swimming pool, fitness center, recreation room, athletic fields, and an indoor children's play area.
We started out a few years ago as a bond issue to raise funds to improve Centennial Commons, which was known as the Heman Park Community Center. It was small, it was sufficient, but other communities had left us in the dust, and so we passed a bond issue, and the money was there for something like $6 million, and next thing you know, we're celebrating this wonderful facility.
This is your gift to University City as it starts its second 100 years. You took the dream that we created and you helped form it into the reality.
I think the basis for the celebration was the 100-year anniversary and everything that U City has been in the past. But it really became more than that as community groups got together and planned many events.
One of the planned events occurred in late January in the form of a new winter festival, the Loop Ice Carnival. Activities along Del Mar included ice sculpture demonstrations, a chili cook-off, a motocross demonstration, children's activities, and shopping. Snowboard demonstrations turned out to be one of the more popular events as the community took advantage of a sunny January afternoon.
You could see people joining together and becoming a march towards what the next century for U-City has to offer.
The University City Education Foundation strives to offer a bright future for its children. Dreams to Reality was the theme as UCEF celebrated its 10-year anniversary. This year's public fundraiser featured a silent auction and traditional auction with hundreds of items up for bid. Each year, the private foundation works to improve U-City's school system.
We describe ourselves as agents for excellence in education in our public schools. We do so by awarding grants to grant applicants in the University City School District. We have two kinds of grants. The teacher grants are effectively for use in particular classrooms, whereas the Pride grants are designed to benefit the whole school population.
In the 10 years of the organization's existence, they have awarded $140,000 in grants. Fittingly, the event was held at Webster University's Community Music School, with entertainment for the evening provided by U-City alumnus Peter Martin. The pianist's music is featured in George Clooney's film, Good Night and Good Luck.
We feel like we're in many ways facilitating the realization of dreams, and thanks to the generosity of our public and the people who are aware of what we're doing and are getting behind us and supporting us, we're able to do what we do.
The U-City community also takes pride in supporting its local businesses, and that support was evident on Valentine's Day. Love in the Loop was a feature attraction on the 100 Fun Things to Do in U-City. Stores and restaurants decorated for the occasion, with window displays attracting last-minute romantics. Couples of all ages strolled down Del Mar as restaurants served up dinner specials and live music on a beautiful February evening.
It's a very important birthday, you know, and we have a wonderful city. We have beautiful buildings in our city, wonderful people in our city, and it's important to celebrate a 100th birthday of a city.
We started out as a community development, reviewing the history of our founding. But as things went on, we were really celebrating the resulting community.
Throughout the year, events that were promoted to celebrate University City's history often turned into events that also help local organizations improve the quality of life for U-City residents.
Number 224.
UCRS called me and asked me to be on the house tour, and it helps them raise money to do their projects and to help people find housing in U-City. And so I said, yes, I'd love to help them. I love U-City.
University City has always been proud of its ethnic, racial, cultural, religious, and economic diversity. In 1967, in response to the practice of steering real estate sales to specific neighborhoods, usually along racial lines, the University City Residential Service, UCRS, was founded. Its primary fundraiser occurs every spring.
This is the U-City House Tour. It's been ongoing for the last 35 years. We have people viewing different houses within the community, some large homes, some smaller homes. We have a lot of different things to view within the houses as they come through. Each have different themes in the houses. We have one of the smaller homes that have had a company come in and actually bring furniture from the period that their house was constructed.
Part of the promotion for this year's tour included live call-ins to a local radio station.
This is a home where it's affectionately called the modern meets the 50s. And one of the great features of this tour is the diversity of the homes, and also this benefits the University City Residential Service. Now back to the station.
Each year, UCRS hosts Home Ownership Made Easy workshops and helps future residents find their dream home in one of the region's most stable communities.
Everyone in U-City is so friendly. We just get together and we stop and talk to people and we help each other. When someone needs something, the word spreads and people help each other in this neighborhood and in U-City in general.
To me, it's an area that is reminiscent of
the neighborhood and the people that they'd like to be, the things that they dreamed about when they were children. You know, it's basically their America. So I think that it is worth celebrating.
That's where I dream and I dream.
Savor U City provided another opportunity for the community to come together as it celebrated the Memorial Weekend.
The Savor U City Festival today is about the centennial of University City, and this was an opportunity for our entire community to come out and celebrate the 100 years where U City has come from and where it's going, and all of us to pull together and shine to the other communities here in St. Louis.
The Savor U City Festival was a once-in-a-lifetime event centered around family activities and community organizations. Children took center stage as education and art were tied together. The University City School District provided bookmarkers that children could personalize. Youngsters interacted with local artists as they learned how clay could be shaped and molded into something beautiful. Children visited the tattoo booth and were transformed into walking works of art. And hundreds of children worked all day creating a very unique piece of art.
It's just the children's art tent, and what we've got here is there's 3 boards here, they're like big crazy quilts actually, and they started with an image. We cut that image up, so that image is still sort of there in pieces all over this thing, and each of the kids gets a little piece to color any way they want. And when they reassemble it piece by piece, the image starts to show up again. Of course, the kids are trying to guess what it's going to be as they're doing it. But what's fun is the image will be there, but it'll be like this crazy quilt of colors because each kid's doing his own little thing on the square too. So it's a lot of fun watching it sort of develop.
A visit to the Old Time Games tent provided children with an opportunity to entertain themselves with games from another era. Competitive juices flowed at one of the more popular events of the day, as children of all ages entered the watermelon seed spitting contest. There was some debate as to whether the best part of the contest was spitting the seeds or eating the watermelon to find more seeds. Finally, there were old-fashioned potato sack races as girls and boys expended their excess energy. The final race of the day featured a moving finish line. Although there was no winner in this particular race, the winners of the day were obviously all the children who participated in these old-time games. And no outdoor festival is complete until the patrons get a chance to taste food prepared on the grill. 10 local restaurants provided everything from brats to pizza as families enjoyed the day's activities. In addition to serving meals, local chefs also gave cooking demonstrations and provided tips that audience members could use in their kitchens.
Dry herbs you can add during the cooking process or at the beginning because it needs to rehydrate. Fresh herbs need to go at the end. Why? They're very aromatic.
Throughout the day, local musicians provided a variety of music on 2 stages.
A lot of local people are actually involved in the music that we have out here today. So a lot of U-Cityans coming out and participating and showing their musical side too. We're known for a lot of our music as well.
During the Savor U City Festival, another link with the region's history was taking place on the ball field.
Let us begin with the gentlemen defenders of the North, the valiant soldiers from Florissant, the St. Louis Unions, and Captain Brian Robinson.
We have had a number of wonderful and exciting matches with the Perfectos. We look forward to a couple more today.
I'm Sumner Moose Honeywell, leading the St. Louis Perfectos.
In the mid-1800s, the newly formed sport of baseball was organized, and in the same manner as teams from another era played, so did the St. Louis Perfectos and the St. Louis Unions.
As originally codified by the gentlemen's clubs in New York in the 1840s by Alexander Cartwright, this was intended to be a gentleman's game. So we don't allow arguments, we don't allow spitting and swearing and scratching and all those kind of things. And it's my job to be there and find violators a day's wages for their sins. There were some big differences, the most apparent being the players wear no gloves. Gloves didn't come into the game until the 1870s, 1880s. Otherwise, it looks a lot the same. The pitcher delivers the ball underhand instead of overhand. We have 90-foot bases. We generally play on just whatever field we can have available.
And on this day, the game was played on Jack Buck Field, dedicated a few years earlier and built thanks to the generosity of the St. Louis Cardinals and one particular U City resident.
Cardinals Care, which is the Cardinals official foundation that is part of my department. This is one of 11 baseball fields we've built. This one certainly has a fond spot in my heart. Just playing Indian ball and playing catch, around this park, certainly growing up here, and who it's named after.
The Perfectos is actually the name of the St. Louis Cardinals in 1899. The legend goes that a lady in the stands one day was commenting on the players' uniforms, isn't that a lovely shade of cardinal? Well, one of the scribes of the day picked that phrase up and used it, and it became the standard name, and the Cardinals just decided, Perfectos? Nah, we like Cardinals. And from 1900 on, they've been the Cardinals.
The Savor U City Festival continued into the evening, culminating with a special dance performance and fireworks that included a very unique grand finale. The pride of U City continued to shine the following morning.
Runner, get set!
Since 1974, area residents have participated in the annual University City Memorial Day Run. Nearly 100 volunteers show their civic pride by organizing the event, with the proceeds going to several worthy organizations.
The Green Center, the U City Children's Center, and U City in Bloom, as well as the library, benefit from the proceeds from the run, and they all help out putting it on.
The morning started with a 10K run, which circled through the streets of University City.
35, way to run!
The race with the most participants was easily the 5K run, with hundreds of participants racing for a good cause. Finally, a 1-mile fun run for children and their parents was held, with the course running through one of U City's most historic neighborhoods.
The children's fun runs actually are behind City Hall in the University Heights No. 1 subdivision, which is 100 years old. It actually celebrated its birthday last year. So they're running on historic streets in one area that was one of the first places that Lewis actually built when he started his empire here in 1904.
Each year, area golfers hit the U City links to support local charities, but on this day, they were also celebrating a milestone.
Today, we're having a celebration of 75 years of golf at Ruth Park. At the same time, proceeds go into our junior golf programs, which we're very pleased about.
While registering for a round of golf, participants were given the opportunity to purchase mulligans for $5 each, which would allow a golfer to redo a shot on the course. Proceeds from the sale of the mulligans went to the Youth Golf Scholarship Fund.
At this time, you may go to your tees. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Remember, this is the winning team, the Booker Ford Foundation.
After 16 years of sponsoring a junior golf program, Ruth Park is partnering with a national organization called First Tee, which ties the game of golf into its 9 core values, like honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and respect.
For example, honesty. We'll show how that works within the game of golf, and then they'll give examples. We'll have role plays and showing how honesty can go into other parts of their lives and how much better a certain situation based on a role play would turn out a whole lot better than maybe being dishonest for a minute or two.
We give them like a little scenario and they have to figure it out, and we just tie everything into how it could benefit you with your life.
While everyone on the course was enjoying their round of golf, they were also supporting the organization that maintains Ruth Park.
The University City Parks Foundation is also behind this and is promoting this because we were trying to get people to donate to the Parks Foundation to maintain them. Ruth Park being one of them. And one of the things that we're doing today is selling a brick that's going to be laid on the 4th tee that people can buy in memory of someone.
There also was a silent auction featuring jewelry, gift baskets, sports memorabilia, and one very special item.
One of the auction items is getting people to sponsor a youth golfer in the youth golf program. So there are bid sheets out there for people to sign up, and they already have signed up to sponsor a youth golfer.
Everybody's interested in seeing golf grow, and everybody's interested in seeing the 9 core values that we know bring success to our youth once they become adults to continue as well.
Community involvement at Ruth Park helps youngsters find success on the golf course and in life. But for others, non-traditional sporting events provide area children with an opportunity to succeed. Competition for a good cause. That's how some residents describe the annual U-City Soapbox Derby, which is held each summer on the last Saturday in August. After gathering at the U-City Community Center and seeing how to build a soapbox racer, the construction process is turned over to the children, who then build their own race carts at home.
Even those children who don't have fathers, the fire department and police department come out and help them build the cars. They're actually out here with the children the day of the race, and it's just really special, and they get to see them, you know, it's real people.
Children ages 5 to 14 race in the Soapbox Derby, with awards being given to the different age groups. Once the children have had their fun, the adults then run heats in the senior citizen category.
After we race the cars, we go to Heman Park for a citywide picnic. Everything is free. All the children who participated, plus whatever child is in the park that needs school supplies, they get school supplies as well.
I need some glue.
And then we give awards out to the children for participating in the race. I usually bring in an up-and-coming star from St. Louis, and they come and perform for the children. This year we have a young group called Young Stars that will be performing.
Hey, it's time for the U-City Loop Criterium!
Every Labor Day weekend since 1994, University City has hosted the fourth and final leg of the Gateway Cup, bicycle races sanctioned by the Missouri Bicycle Racing Association.
The Walk of Fame, we're on Del Mar, the famous street here in U-City. We are day number 4. This is a criterium course, 7/10 of a mile around this great University City neighborhood. We go over to Washington, back up to Trinity, and then it's back down on this historic Del Mar Boulevard all the way to the start-finish line.
U-City is just a vibrant neighborhood, and it is an incredible area to put on an event like this with the store frontage and the atmosphere and the type of people that come down here. It's a perfect fit for cycling.
Over 600 competitors, women and men from 30 states, race each year through the streets of University City. Spectators line the course and frequent local shops and restaurants during the day-long event.
This event, there are thousands of people that come out and hang out in the streets. I think it's a great event for University City, the amount of people that are involved with it, the amount of out-of-towners that come to visit. So I think it's a great fit.
While cyclists are racing up and down Del Mar each Labor Day, the market in the Loop is holding a tailgate sale. Hundreds of people sift through thousands of items, hoping to find a hidden treasure, while fees collected from the vendors help support another important local organization.
For 24 years, the League of Women Voters of St. Louis have held this tailgate sale as a fundraiser for the things that we do. We put out a voter's guide. We maintain a telephone service for people to call if they don't know where to vote, if they don't know who their congressman is. So these are some of the things that we do. It's one of our main fundraisers for the year.
Labor Day weekend traditionally marks the end of summer, but it doesn't mark the end of U-City's commitment to improving the community. Every year, concerned citizens gather to help clean up the environment, more specifically to help clean up the River Des Peres, which runs through the heart of University City.
As you can see, the River Des Peres has not been well treated over the years. And I think we want to heighten people's awareness of the river system itself as a natural part of their lives that they don't often recognize, but something that's there and something to be valued.
And really, since it flows through University City, it's very much a vital part of the city. It's something people see every day. It's very much something, if we're going to, in terms of taking pride in U-City, this is something we got to also help bring back from this incredibly degraded state.
You know, to get it cleaned up, if people do come down, participate in cleanups like this, they start seeing it in a different perspective. If they're walking in a stream, if they're, you know, pulling stuff off the banks, and you know, they look around and they see this is a natural place, and it's not a bad place.
And so we're trying to bring it back to something that is
It is truly a river that people can play in, that people can use in, that they can have nature trails along the side of, and to actually make use of it as a natural water system.
Throughout 2006, the residents of University City repeatedly showed their community pride. And as University City continued celebrating 100 years, numerous events focused on its reputation as a destination for those interested in the arts and culture.
You can come here and you can find anybody who can talk about anything, who can be a patron of any type of art. This is not a stereotype cookie-cutter city. This is a city that brings in the best of all cultures. It's really become the metropolitan area center of arts and culture.
Nearly every type of art was featured at some point during the centennial celebration, beginning in January with a photography exhibit. Founding Father E.G. Lewis would be proud of the commemorative centennial calendar that showcased his City Beautiful. Each year, the Municipal Commission on Arts and Letters of University City publishes a calendar that features photography by local artists.
When I was choosing what to shoot for the calendar, the effort was to keep in mind the historical aspect of U-City, but also show a contemporary view.
For the centennial, the commission asked local photographer Jay Fram to capture the city in a way that would remind residents of what makes it so special.
It's all University City, and I think it's done in sort of a contemporary way, probably something in there that most people would recognize and maybe some that they might not.
These are not historical pictures in the true sense, but they are pictures with an eye toward history and with a consciousness of that perspective.
As 1 month turned to the next, the calendar reminded us of U-City's history, architecture, culture, and beauty.
People don't know always just what it is that's going on every year. And I think with the centennial, it's going to be spotlighting those things. And I think it's just a really, really nice thing for this community to have that spotlight.
Multiple performances by the University City Symphony Orchestra gave residents a chance to enjoy classical and contemporary music.
We're not the St. Louis Symphony, but I think that we're a little bit more approachable. We're free, so you can take a chance. You can hear music you might not have heard, maybe music you wouldn't hear downtown at the Symphony. But I think that, as a cultural organ that is strongly identified with University City, I felt it was important that we be a part of the celebration, and I was very happy when they really asked us and were welcoming us with open arms.
The U-City Symphony Orchestra was founded in 1960 by Washington University professor of music William Schatzkammer, and during its rich history, the orchestra has held true to its roots.
This is a community service. It needs to be free. If we start charging, then we start to become something else, and we want to stay true to our roots. If you don't have a dime, come on in and we'll feed your soul.
The U-City Sculpture Series was also included in the 2006 Centennial Celebration. Probably the most popular sculpture from this annual contest is the Rain Man, which became a permanent sculpture across from the U-City Library on Delmar.
Today we are celebrating the culmination of the year-long project called University City Public Art Series.
It's a special year for the city, 100 years, and it is a very special day for this program that's officially 20 years old right now. We are very, very pleased to present our 20-year celebration book. Many, many people worked very hard on this, and something I think we can be very proud of.
The students build a site-specific model for each of their projects and present this to the Committee of Arts and Letters. The models serve as a kind of a key to the visitors, and this particular one is on the second floor of the public library.
I've installed here kind of a curtain of leaves that have been preserved in resin. All the trees around here burst with a lot of beauty during fall, and I wanted to try to find a way to hang on to some of that.
I had a chance to go back and look at the number of pieces that were realized in recent years and look at the budgets for them, and I found that the approximate average price behind them was about $500. If you go into the library on the ground floor, you'll see $500 in the form of 50,000 pennies stacked one on top of the other. I'd be thrilled if every University City resident who sees this piece would think of one of those pennies as his or her own.
My project is quilts that are hanging from the staircase in City Hall, which 100 years ago was actually built as the Women's Magazine building, which inspired me to make them. All the squares actually comes from the Goodwill in University City. I collected skirts, graduation gowns, pillowcases, shirts, anything of the like, and cut it up into the squares.
I made a death penalty injection bed. Considering the fact that USA is one of the few countries in the world with a death penalty system, along with Iran, Iraq, and China, it was surprising to see many of my colleagues did not have a clear opinion on the issue. I, as an artist, would like to raise the awareness in UCity.
And then the final one, which was presented and accepted to be located on the lawn of the City Hall building. Because of construction, it had to be moved, and it is outside of this building that we're in, the Centennial Commons now.
It's called 101 Tips on How to Be a Better University City Citizen. Embedded into each of the sculptures are kite fabric, and written on the kite fabric are 101 different tips. You must come back and interact with the piece to understand what it means to be a U City citizen and learn and become more involved. It's a long process, and it's rewarding to see a finished piece and to have the celebration at the end. The fact that there is, a project scheme like this for students to get involved with is so phenomenal, and I think other St. Louis communities could definitely take a note from U City.
Another long-standing series included in the Centennial celebration was the annual U City Photo Show, which showcased the talents of area amateur photographers.
This is actually the 38th year that University City has sponsored this photo show, and it is presented by the Arts and Letters Commission of University City each year, and it's for amateurs from around the metropolitan area.
I entered 5 images. I was one of the contestants, and the one image that I didn't feel as confident about entering, someone else saw it and said, enter it into the competition. So I entered it, and it ended up winning honorable mention, and after it won, I really liked it.
The exhibit featured an adult category for anyone above their senior year in high school and a youth category. In addition, every photo entered was eligible for inclusion in University City's 2007 calendar. Cultural awareness is a phrase repeatedly mentioned when describing University City, and providing a link to ethnic heritage played an important role in the Centennial celebration.
We're the International Folk Dance Association of University City Incorporated, and most every year in the spring and in the fall, we offer these outdoor community dances 6 or 7 Friday nights in a row. We do all kinds of dances from all countries, and along with the dances, you learn something about those cultures. Most of us are admittedly some European extraction, but we're interested in everything, and we've really tried to reach out to the entire community.
Most of the people out there right now are from the club, and as the evening progresses, other people who are just standing around watching right now will kind of join in for 2 or 3 dances, and then they'll fly on their way. And that's okay, because it's free and it's open air, and anybody can just drop in for a couple of dances, and that's okay.
U-City's cultural diversity played a key role in the formation of this organization over 40 years ago in 1964.
More than 100 would show up for folk dancing, and we would just perform various dances: Israeli, Bulgarian, Romanian, Russian, Serbian, Croatian, just all kinds of folk dances on Saturday night as a recreational event.
Just as important as learning how to perform the dances of a particular region is learning about that region's culture. And at events like the Ethnic Dance Series, participation is encouraged.
The people that got the organization off the ground wanted a venue where they could learn and experience all of the cultures of the world.
Each summer, Heman Park is filled with the sounds of music and the smells of barbecue.
I'm here every year. This is the place to be.
The annual Starlight Concert Series is held 8 Monday evenings in a row, starting the Monday after July 4th. It features local musical groups performing a variety of musical styles in a laid-back, casual atmosphere.
The family comes, the kids play ball while the concert's going on. They run around and mom and dad are sitting back taking it easy.
We like the fact that your city continues to do this in such a nice, relaxed family environment. So we brought the whole family.
And the Starlight Concert Series is open to everyone.
We get residents from every single walk of life that come here. We get residents from University City, all of the St. Louis area. Some of the groups that we bring in have a following with them.
Audience members are also encouraged to purchase raffle tickets, with prizes being donated by local retailers. The raffle helps fund the concert series, which is sponsored by University City and its Arts and Letters Commission. Yes, it was a summer of music, as another series of performances got underway at the Market in the Loop. The U-City Summer Band, in its 10th year, performed every Tuesday for 6 weeks during the summer. Conductor Tom Poshak led the adult and high school band members from U-City, St. Louis City, and Kirkwood.
This evening we're focusing on St. Louis and University City because this is part of University City's 100th anniversary. So we're doing music that either relates to St. Louis Walk of Fame, which is in University City, or on the University City High School Hall of Fame, which honors people who have graduated from University City High School.
The U-City Summer Band was organized as a salute to the original U-City Summer Band, which performed in the late 1950s and through most of the 1960s, under the direction of Roger Warner. Another form of artistic talent on display during the year-long centennial celebration was created with needle and thread.
Well, we're here in City Hall in University City, and these are the results of the Circle in the Square Quilt Guild Challenge from 2006. The theme was Fun in University City, and these are people's interpretations of what they see as their fun in University City.
Formed in 1984, the Circle in the Square Quilt Guild helped celebrate the centennial with this special exhibit. The Every Other Year Quilt Challenge normally is held in the U-City Library, but as part of U-City's centennial celebration, these 6 quilts were hung in the City Hall Rotunda. Community, music, art, and culture. Everything that encompasses University City's reputation came together late in the year.
So this is the 20th year for the Loop in Motion Arts Festival, and I've been a part of it ever since it started. What we're doing is promoting the area as an arts community, and we wanted to showcase what's happening in the Loop and show people too what a nice area this has grown to be, with shops for shopping and live music venues and wonderful little restaurants to enjoy and to bring the families and to have fun.
The Loop's annual Visual and Performing Arts Festival took place on the sidewalks and in the streets along Delmar. Dozens of bands and dance troupes performed on 4 stages Friday evening and all day Saturday. Among the performers were traditional Irish dancers, African tribal dancers, and the Shallon Lion Dance Troupe.
Bring your hands down onto the wheel.
One of the more popular venues provided future artists with an opportunity to get first-hand experience with a number of different mediums.
Craft Alliance is very pleased to be a part of Loop in Motion and to have this open studio event tonight, because we have been residents of the Loop since, well, really for 36 years, and we happen to reside in the oldest building, commercial building in the Loop. Tonight we are having an open studio night. It's called Free Fall Friday. We are inviting the community to come into Craft Alliance's studios and try their hand at all of the various techniques that we teach at Craft Alliance. That's glass flame work, We have metalsmithing going on and metal casting up in our metals studio. We have silk painting and weaving in our textile design studio. We're an exhibition center and we are an education center, and we have a lot of wonderful outreach programs in the community.
Hey, how you doing, kids?
Street performers also entertain the festival goers. Paul Vandevort and Magical Mr. Rabbit were a big hit with the kids.
Or was it Colonel Mustard in the ballroom with the revolver?
Another popular exhibit was this interpretation of the board game Clue, featuring the photography of Hope Edwards.
Or was it Mrs. White in the ballroom with the lead pipe?
There will be about 17 different venues showing art, and most of these are not places where you would normally go in to look for art.
I'm in from Brunswick, Maryland, and my hometown is St. Louis, so gotta come back. And all the paintings that you see are from my imagination, are places that I have been.
It's a wonderful opportunity to get people from the community to come down and see all the wonderful things that happen in the Loop.
It's just a really wonderful little festival that's been going on for now 20 years, and we're very proud of that.
2006 was a celebration of U-City's distinction as an arts and culture destination. 2006 was a celebration of U-City's diverse community. 2006 was a celebration of U-City's rich history.
The history of U-City is a story of a place and of people. Innovative, active, involved people. People committed to creating a community that is the best it can be, and rising to old challenges in new ways. This is the story of University City.
Cocoa was the place to be the first week of March as University City looked back at its rich and colorful history. The premiere of University City, the First Century, was much anticipated as attendees arrived early, mingled with old acquaintances, and took part in the evening's festivities.
People who don't know anything about University City can learn a great deal from this documentary.
By the turn of the 20th century, rural University City was not too different from St. Louis's other inner suburbs. At the St. Louis city limits, residential and commercial development followed the new streetcar lines.
Streetcar lines are very important in the settlement of U-City. The main one ran from downtown St. Louis out Delmar, made a loop at what is now Kingsland.
E.G. Lewis would become the founder of Incorporated University City, its first mayor and leading citizen. Nothing in his early career hinted at the city he would found or the business empire that would rise and topple in University City. In time for the World's Fair, Lewis commissioned architect Herbert Chivers to design a spectacular new headquarters for the Woman's Magazine.
The one-hour documentary details the city's rich history and many of the colorful characters that helped shape its first 100 years.
U-City has a great history and a great story, and I think that's what people were hooking on to. People said the film went by very quickly. They were surprised when it was over and an hour was up, so that's a nice compliment.
People are having a good time here tonight, I think, and we're definitely enjoying showing our work to all of the people. A lot of the people who are in the documentary have never seen it before, so they seem to like it.
A panel discussion after the movie premiere provided more background on the city's history, and the audience voiced its approval while providing additional historical anecdotes during the question and answer portion of the program.
That was the old streetcar right-of-way, by the way. It became a linear park.
A reception that followed the events inside the auditorium allowed for more discussion and reflection on the city's storied history.
It shows that a community that has great citizens can survive and thrive. But the same idealism that was there when U-City was founded is still here now, and that's wonderful.
There's such a rich history that you don't realize superficially of all the places that you walk every day and see, but to hear what happened and how it all got started was really, really interesting.
I had heard of E.G. Lewis, but I had no idea what a colorful character he was, and I had no idea that there were all these images available of him. And as a filmmaker, to discover this incredible archive of images like U-City has it was just like winning the lottery. And so to be able to tell his story and to have those great pictures was really exciting as a filmmaker.
The part that I didn't know about was the civil rights legacy of University City. Early on when we were doing the pre-production, doing our research, people were very forceful in saying, you have to look into this, talk to some people. That came to me as a total surprise.
And I am very grateful they talked about Nate Kaufman. Nate was mayor when I first got on the city council. He was my mayor, he was my mentor. Nate Kaufman saved this community. He really and truly did. His will, his force, his love of this community, it saved it.
Everybody walked out here saying, man, I didn't remember that part. Or, oh yeah, that's there. And they're also saying to themselves, what should we do from the past today and keep this going?
This is a great summation of what University City believes, what University City wants to be and has become.
The spotlight that was installed in the apex of the dome, which is still there today, was intended to draw people's attention from the fairgrounds.
Famous for its architecture and city planning, University City highlighted these aspects throughout 2006 with a series of Hikes into History. Throughout the year, Esley Hamilton, historian for the St. Louis County Parks and Recreation Department, led residents on 7 tours through University City communities, providing background on historical structures, architectural styles, and significant periods of development within University City.
University City was really just a glimmer in the mind of E.G. Lewis at the turn of the century. He was a man from Connecticut who came here selling mosquito repellent and also roach repellent. He had bought this land to be visible from the World's Fair, and it was visible. It appears in many photographs of the World's Fair. In 1909, he commissioned the Lion Gates, as we call them, and he called those the Gates of Opportunity. This little house was the home of John Hartford, the musician who wrote Gentle on My Mind. Tom Dooley, the medical missionary to Southeast Asia, was born here in 1927. This building was built for the 1904 World's Fair and managed by the Methodists, the Epworth League. And after the fair, it became the Park Hotel. And then about 1914, it became the Christian Old Folks Home. And it was renovated by Washington University in 1977, one of the first off-campus efforts they made.
The Hikes Through History didn't just deal with building styles. One tour included a trip inside the U City Library to view a historical pottery collection.
Dewa was famous particularly for his crystalline glazes, and this part of the case has quite a few examples of crystalline glazes. Before you leave, you have to see the teapot in the shape of the City Hall.
While the Hikes Through History series focused on the importance of U City's neighborhoods and its architectural styles, another series of events focused on the impact women have had on society over the past 100 years.
The period between 1901 and 1910 is often called the Edwardian era or the Belle Epoque. It was an era of beautiful clothes and the peak of luxury living for a select few.
We decided that it would be very important to do a women's series honoring the centennial of University City, mainly because the founder, E.G. Lewis, was so supportive of women.
Honoring women, past, present, future, saluted women and their impact on our country's education, politics, and fashion.
Tonight we did a fashion show with fashions from each decade, from 1900 to 2000. And again, it's to celebrate the centennial.
The series didn't just focus on honoring women of the past. It also focused on helping women of today.
The significance of the series is to point out and to give women in the region and in the neighborhood a chance to meet and discuss. In addition to the lectures that we put on, after every lecture, we asked nonprofit organizations serving women to set up tables so that we could talk to them about the kind of services they provide for women who need clothes, women who perhaps are abused. And then tonight we're having a fashion bazaar where you can actually buy things and stuff that women like.
The crowning event of University City's year-long celebration occurred over Labor Day weekend. Founders Weekend celebrated 100 years with a look back and a leap forward. Period costumes were all the rage as celebrants arrived at City Hall on Saturday evening. Recently renovated, the original Lewis Publishing Company headquarters provided the perfect backdrop for the evening's festivities.
Well, tonight we are having the gala dinner, the start of Founders Weekend. And the purpose of the evening, other than to celebrate the centennial of the city and to honor E.G. Lewis, whose ability to plan is just phenomenal, is to raise money for a centennial garden, which will be around City Hall, and it will of course contain only flowers that were growing in 1906.
We came to the decision that the gardens needed to be of the era of the arts and crafts style around the turn of the century, and they should be up against the building and very large and very colorful. And I think by bringing that to the Centennial Committee, they saw that as a real wonderful focus for their fundraising.
The Junior League Larks kicked off the festivities in the 5th floor rotunda of City Hall, performing several choral selections for the attendees.
We're proud that you're all here to join with us in this great celebration.
Remarks by city dignitaries preceded the introduction of ladies from an American Women League's chapter house in Calvert, Texas, a women's organization founded by E.G. Lewis in 1907. Calvert was one of the first 4 chapters in the country. Also in attendance were direct descendants of E.G. Lewis. U-City's founding father had no children, so nieces and nephews of Mr. Lewis were on hand to celebrate his many accomplishments and share a few stories with the guests. The downtown trio then provided entertainment as the primary focus of the evening began, raising funds for Centennial Gardens. A silent auction took place with dozens of items open for bid. Local businesses and citizens graciously donated sports memorabilia, works of art, gift baskets, and jewelry.
$50 somebody give me 15, let's get it started.
High-dollar items were then auctioned off to the highest bidder. Among them was an original membership document from the American Women's League. The evening's auction raised thousands of dollars for Centennial Garden, with everyone enjoying the spirited bidding. And as guests were leaving the Founders Day Gala, there was one more treat awaiting them. The U-City skyline was illuminated with bright blue beams of light from the searchlight that sits atop City Hall. E.G. Lewis had originally constructed the light to bring attention to University City during the 1904 World's Fair. Through efforts of local citizens, the searchlight was recently refurbished to its original condition and is operated during special occasions.
I was born in University City 73 years ago. This is the first time I'm getting to see the spotlight.
It was constructed on a track that is raised through the City Hall roof. The carbon arc light is then manually rotated around the roof, shooting its beam of light out an estimated 5 miles. A few select guests, including members of the Lewis family, were allowed to traverse up to the roof and get a first-hand look at the early 20th century spotlight. The following morning, University City officially celebrated Founders Day and its 100-year anniversary. Families and friends gathered along Delmar Boulevard, enjoying the beautiful weather while waiting for the Founders Day Parade to begin. Leading the annual Founders Day Parade was the University City High School Marching Band. Local dignitaries and the University City Fire Department followed closely behind. Also participating in the parade were representatives from the American Women's League chapter house in Calvert, Texas, descendants of E.G. Lewis, U-City's founder, and the Ames Place Band, local citizens that perform at various functions throughout the year. And no parade would be complete without entertainers and clowns. The citizens of University City were then invited to tour the firehouse, learn about fire safety,
Never play with matches.
and climb into the seat of an emergency transport helicopter.
If I could please start off the commemoration.
City Manager Julie Fire began the official commemoration ceremonies by leading the citizens in the Pledge of Allegiance.
What a great day to wrap up this celebration of Founders Weekend.
Following comments by Mayor Joe Adams, proclamations marking the historic occasion were presented by representatives of University City, St. Louis County, and the state of Missouri.
So I'm here to congratulate you and thank you for continuing your efforts to make this a fabulous, fabulous city. Thank you very much.
Honored guests then reflected on the weekend's events.
I am just overwhelmed to see what the partnership between your elected officials and the community, the continuity between the Historic Society and the city, what it's produced.
We had the very first chapter house in Texas and one of the first in the country. And we have just loved the history. And thank you, University City. We love you.
On September the 4th, 1906, 100 years ago, this city was started. It was incorporated. And Lewis became the first mayor.
A plaque commemorating E.G. Lewis's vision was then unveiled with the help of Ann Lewis Wright.
Therefore, be it resolved that I, Joseph L. Adams, Mayor of the City of University City, along with the rest of the City Council of University City, do hereby declare this historic marker at the City Hall of University City, 6801 Delmar, on September the 3rd, 2006 at 1 p.m., E.G. Lewis Historic Marker Dedication Day.
The ceremony ended at the steps of City Hall as volunteers of U City in Bloom began digging in the future Centennial Garden that will surround E.G. Lewis's original publishing headquarters.
If you have time, take part in what we're doing here, but at the least come by and look at it and put your blessing on it.
We're very, very proud, very, very happy to be a part of it, actually to be guests of University City. To see people follow, carry on with the footsteps that E.G. Lewis put out there, it really, really makes us feel good.
2006 was a year of celebration.
What's interesting is that University City is as dynamic or more dynamic today than it was in its beginning, when at the time it was recognized as one of the more dynamic cities in the United States. And so I think that's a great compliment to the citizens now of University City, and how much, even though all the citizen base has changed rather dramatically over the years, it still lives up to the ideals of the City Beautiful, which E.G. Lewis started with and has been continued, and hopefully will be continued in the next 100 years.
Everyone here has made this what it is. One of E.G. Lewis' favorite mottos was the vision of one, the efforts of many. And boy, do we see that here. The vision of one and the efforts of many.
E.G. Lewis would be a proud man today to come and see his dream and see what happened with his dream, because his dream is still growing, still maturing, but it is here. It is beautiful. We put our own personal stamp on the dream of this community, but it is a vision of the future, a vision of inclusiveness, togetherness. Keep your face towards the sun so you don't see the shadows. You see the future. You see the bright future of University City.